What is going on, everybody? Your Minnesota Vikings get back on the right track and give us another opportunity for a Victory Monday live stream here on GG Sports Podcast. 21-13 over the Colts in a game that kind of flipped the script from what we're normally used to. Normally, we're used to hot starts in the first quarter, cool off in the middle of the game, and hopefully do something in the fourth quarter. This time, we moved the ball effectively throughout the first and second quarter. Just couldn't get any points on the board. A couple turnovers that we'll talk about throughout the course of the show here. And a big second half, put up all 21 points in the second half of the game. Defense locked it down. And your Vikings are 6-2, feeling pretty good, and going into a three-game road stretch, but a three-game road stretch in which I really, truly believe this team can come out of that stretch 3-0. So it's a good spot to be in, build a little bit of confidence back in this thing after a tough 5-day stretch, losing those two games, and we're back on the winning track.
Let's go. Before continue on here, we do some shout outs. Big Raylan in here right away. Hey guys, what up? My dude, Gary, my boy in the building, sub school mates. We got Bob Swede with the 15-2. That's what I'm talking about. Roger's in the building. What's going on, Roger? Who else we got in here? I do see Big, someday we gotta hang out. I mean, at the very least, next year, Skullfest, you know what I'm saying? I know you know what I'm saying. What up, Darren in the building? Our guy with that bum leg. Will Reichard without a bum leg. Yeah, I know. Hopefully, it's like a 1 week thing, if anything. That sucks. You don't really expect that to happen to your kicker, but hey, I think overall,
or your long snapper breaking his hand,
or your long snapper,
short-term IR.
Yeah. The thing with Will Reichard, it's like I'd have zero, like it'd be like, hey, he's going to be all right, 100%. But then after like what happened with JJ McCarthy and being like, oh, there's like a little bit of knee soreness, and then ends up just taking him out for the whole year. Whatever. Anyways, we're not going to be pessimistic about it. I think he'll be all right. Bob Sweet again. Scope for Life Barbers in the building, my dude. We got Nick Riley. What's good? Gary and Big. Who am I missing in here? I think we got everybody so far. Again, everybody here. Actually, I better put it up. One guy who had a real good bounce back, I would say, is this guy right here, Jordan Addison. So we're giving away the card. Hashtag Skulls in the comments, like the video, and subscribe. All those good things if you haven't already. But giving away this at the end of the show, you all know how we do. I did finally get a bunch of, and I'm continuing to keep getting getting some JJ McCarthy rookie cards. So we'll be getting some of those in here soon and give away some of those. And that will be a lot of fun. I'm going to give away tons of those for a while because that dude's going to be the future. I can't wait to see him. Anyways, hey, what's up, Two-Tone? Will, like, Hang Nails shuts him down. That's crazy, bro. Heck no. That's crazy. A Hang Nails shuts him down. No, dude. I would have went out there with no legs and kicked that fucking ball through the uprights, bro. That's crazy. Anyways, back to this game. As Casey said, 21-13, Vikings W. In what was overall kind of a sloppy win, like you said, like especially in the beginning, the turnovers, we just could not score. The refs fucking us 2 weeks in a row, and then kind of turning it around in that second half, and definitely that last drive, which we'll talk about as we go further in here. But it's another one of those games where it's like it's the Colts. They're not a terrible team. They're not a great team. This is a game that we should have won. It's exactly what we did. It shouldn't have been as close as it was. But after coming off of two losses, like, hey, we're cool with wins. At this point, I'm like, I'm just glad we won that game. It was different where it's like that Jets game is like, I'm glad we won, but we should like be beating these teams. It was kind of a like now it's, I don't know. We're a little bit more into reality of what this team can be now. So I'm like, I'm taking W's when we can get them. But I'm still looking forward to like the next game where we do what we did to the Giants or to Houston and hopefully that will be this week against Jacksonville, which maybe we'll touch on at the end here. But I think, I don't know, usually at the end of this show, we'll kind of go into next week's game, but we do have an important deadline tomorrow and it's the trade deadline. So I think we're going to spend some time at the end of the show to talk about that. But overall in this game, you know, we won. Some ugly moments, but it was a game where it was like we were obviously the better team no matter regardless of anything that happened. Even the 21-13 didn't show the score probably should have been, I think I had 33-10 was my prediction, and this game should have been closer to that. Honestly, it should have been like 31 or 33 to like 6, but
right.
It is what it is.
Right. And I guess, and we'll talk about a little bit like the Sam Darnold sloppiness later on, but I guess two things that I think need to be talked about, and they both involve Kevin O'Connell. We'll get into the big thing later on in the show here, but him and Jefferson talked this week about simplifying the offense, kind of fewer checks at the line, getting in and out of the huddle quicker, getting rid of, and it worked this game. We were able to move the ball effectively. Mm-hmm. Sure, Darnold with the kind of ugly turnovers again, which we'll talk about later, but the fact that we were getting in and out of the huddle, getting the snap off, moving the ball with the plays, and the big thing that Kevin O'Connell mentioned right at the beginning of his post-game presser, no pre-snap penalties. We had one holding call throughout the game on offense. Like that right there is huge. Now,
massive.
I thought in the first half, the offense kept finding ways to get in its own way, right? With the turnovers, with some of the, the bad offensive line play, which again, I think is something we'll talk about later on here. But like we were getting on our own ways in different ways, like more of on the field stuff instead of just the stupid penalties. So if there's one thing that you got to give Kevin O'Connell a ton of credit for, it's, and I think I saw Purple for the Win say this earlier today too, it's putting your ego to the side and throughout midpoint of the season, changing how you're running your offense, right? Just simplifying things, making it easier on everybody, just getting just one or two play calls in and out of the huddle. And just the ability, and that right there is what's leading to less pre-snap penalties. So you don't get in your own way that way by starting out on like a 1st and 15, right? So kudos to Kevin O'Connell for fixing all that stuff. Kudos to the offense for getting it going. And I just think it shows the growth of Kevin O'Connell, not only as a head coach, but as an offensive play caller here. Again, we kept getting in our own way with just some of the turnovers and some of the other plays on offense, but the pre-snap penalties and those being cleaned up was the biggest thing I took away from this football game.
Yeah, that obviously, I mean, we might be 7-0 or 8-0 if we weren't dealing with that throughout the last 2 games prior to this one. So it is a big deal. And I know one interesting thing that we were on Bleacher Report yesterday that we didn't mention is just the impact that Wes Phillips maybe had. I don't like, they put him on the field. I'm like, I didn't know how significant that would be, but him on the field officially, only 2 penalties in the entire game and no pre-snap penalties. So maybe that is a big deal for him to actually be out there on the sidelines there. And here we had Dallas Turner sighting. He's got a burst. He was looking really good at the end there.
I think we can cool it on the Dallas Turner as a bus talk. I think it was ridiculous to start with. I think us Vikings fans that get a little bit of Lewis Cine syndrome, where we just saw like a guy who's not playing right away. We think, he's a bust. He's not going to make it. Dallas Turner is going to be just fine. We saw a lot of the things you saw on his tape in college pop up in this game. Dallas Turner is going to be okay. We can cool it on the bus talk now.
Yeah. And for me, I never was thinking he was going to be a bust. Obviously, you don't even know. Maybe he could have been whatever. He's a young player. He's a rookie. It happens all the time. I do think the expectation, like, there's no question he didn't meet the expectation everybody had that was really just put on by, ESPN and just he was a favorite for defensive player of the year. So I think that was a big part of that. And Brian Flores is just, being slow with him early on. And we kind of saw him do a little bit of everything yesterday. So it was really cool to see that, especially at the end of the game. He was putting on pressure. He should have had a sack on Ward's sack. He was getting hold pretty bad right behind Joe Flacco. I can't believe they didn't play him on that. But exactly. Turner's a dog shit. And that's the reality. He's young. He's raw. He's an athletic freak, though. Yeah. And he's that type of player. Like, give him a year, give him a couple years. Like, he's the type of player that he could be one of the best players at his position in a few years. He isn't like Jared Verse, I think Jared Verse is already like 23 years old or something. And he's kind of more seasoned already coming into the NFL here. So, but still, overall was good. Another thing that frustrated me was we didn't get home till late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's also true.
I know. Well, we didn't even get literally till the end. Yeah, but that comes down to the whole trade deadline thing, and that's why I think the reason why we're not getting home is we just don't got any pressure coming up the middle of their offense against anybody. Like, they can just step up into the pocket and really nothing's going on there.
But the coverage was good. for the most part last night too. Which
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, and there's a lot that goes into it, and a lot of things that we'll actually talk about soon here. So we might as well just not stop wasting time and get into.
Let me look at a couple things. We got PFF. I haven't checked those out yet. I wanted to go through our stats real quick. Might as well just check them out. Vikings, Sam Darnold. Ooh, that. By the way, the trick play. You never know if it's gonna work. It's one of those things where if it doesn't, it's stupid, but if it does, it's genius. And the Jefferson throw to was it Aaron Jones? No, who was it again? Was it to Aaron Jones?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was Aaron Jones. Let me take this thing off. There you go. But yeah, that ended up working out.
199, by the way. Here, why wasn't Reiser playing Ingram again? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I had thought that maybe there was going to be a short leash for Ingram. It sounds like they were reporting yesterday before the game. That's not quite the case. Sounds like they're sticking with Ingram, and Reiser's going to be the backup. So
hopefully, I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like, I don't know. They're talking about there could be some changes. We'll see. But at this point, I'm just going to believe that Ed Ingram's going to be the right guard until the Vikings say something, because we're just going to be every single year we're going to be calling for it. And I'll probably call for it again later in this episode or this stream. But anyways, Aaron Jones, 21 attempts, 64 yards. Cam Akers, 6 attempts for 46 yards. Cam Akers coming in here like, why weren't you guys playing me last week? And we had him he was here for the Lions game too, or was it just the Rams?
I think the Lions too. Yep.
The Lions. So it's like, why were you guys not using me? He's exactly what we want in a complimentary back to Aaron Jones. Really liked what we saw from him. And actually really excited to kind of see how he continues to impact our offense. Sam Darnold for 4 attempts for 14 yards, using his legs, which is pretty nice. Maybe he should have used it on that first interception, but he might have got smacked. Justin Jefferson, 7 receptions, 137 yards. Josh Oliver, a bigger part of this offense than TJ Hawkinson, I guess, when Hawkinson comes back. 5 receptions, 58 yards. Jordan Addison, 5 receptions, 42 yards, and a touchdown. Said this on Bleacher Report, too. Should have been six receptions for like 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah. TJ Hawkins, 3 touchdowns, 27 yards. All that good stuff.
Thank you for the $2, man. Appreciate you hopping in here.
Who's that? Ooh, Two-Tone, my dude. Oh, you already put it up. Hey, let's go, my guy. Appreciate you. Ivan Pace Jr., 6 total tackles. Other big stats. Ward with the 1. Grenard with 2. I thought I saw. We'll have to look on this, but let me put up.
The enigma of Byron Murphy continues, where he just does not play well, but then he comes up with huge plays every now and then.
Yeah, he just gets turnovers and stuff. But so on defense, Harrison Phillips,
top 5. Love to see that.
What's that?
Dallas Turner cracking the top 5.
Cracking the top 5, yeah. And I'll sit on him for a second here. But Harrison Phillips, 83.2, obviously 81.4 in the run defense. That's something that, for the most part, we've had a couple tough games against the Lions and the Rams, but for the most part, we've been a good rush defense team, and a lot of that run defense team, a lot of that has to do with Harrison Phillips in this game. I mean, Jonathan Taylor is one of the best in the game. So Cam Bynum, number 2 with the 77.1, Ward 72.2, Jonathan Grenard 71.5, and Dallas Turner rounds out the top 5 with 26 total. Obviously a lot bigger than, I think, what was it, last week or the week before, where he had like 4. He's taken a lot from this guy down here who hasn't produced as much as he did earlier in the season with Pat Jones, who only had 18. A big thing with Dallas Turner, 4 total tackles, 1 hit. He ended up with 3 hurries, or 4 total. I don't even know what that is. 4 total pressures and 2 total tackles. So it was really nice to see that from Dallas Turner, and hopefully we just keep seeing him ramp up more and more and more.
And like, he was a guy I was thinking, like, he's not the biggest guy in the world, so I thought he was going to do it more with his finesse, but he pushed that tackle into Joe Flacco 2 times throughout that last drive. And then he had the really nice blitz where it looked like he was going to be back there in coverage. Walks up to the line, and right as the ball snapped, he charges and forces Flacco to throw an errant throw into the feet of his receiver. So a lot of really, really good things from Dallas Turner, really showing off some of that athleticism.
Dude, 100%. Yeah, I can't wait to continue watching him. And if he like becomes a bigger part of this defense, I mean, that can make the world of difference, and we just keep seeing him grow. But this was a huge growing moment for Dallas Turner, and that's really, honestly, probably one of the most exciting things about that entire game. On the bottom 5, you do have Harrison Smith down here. I'm gonna go against PFF on this one. I really loved what how he was playing, especially at the end, bringing his physicality that we all know and love. Harrison Smith looking like he's a young version of himself yesterday, I felt like. And then you got Jonathan Ballard down here, Jerry Tillery, the other parts of our defensive line, not so great. Kamu Gruger-Hill, and then Andrew Van Ginkel was all the way down here. And I wasn't really paying attention to him too much. I know someone in here, was it Darren, who asked, like, why was he not on the field at the end? I don't know if he just wasn't playing great, or I don't know. According to this, he wasn't playing too great. But what's going on? How about no? I disrupt in the middle DL would be odd. Yeah, dude. Huge. That'd be huge. Let's go to offense here so we can see what their grades look like. Josh Oliver with a 94.3. That's what happens when you have that many weapons on the field at the same time. Guys like Josh Oliver get completely wide open. Well deserved. Big touchdown at the end there. Garrett Bradbury, honestly, I'm surprised to see his 80, probably for the run block, but his 80 here, he got absolutely blown up on that BS non-call on Sam Darnold.
If you go back and watch, he and Ingram playing a little bit of footsie there. I don't know what he stepped on Ingram's foot, I think, or Ingram stepped on his foot.
Okay. Justin Jefferson 79.1, Sam Darnold 76.1, Brian O'Neill 74.8. I'm surprised we see Cam Akers way down here. I mean, every time he touched the ball, it was just like it was just like 10 yards, dude. I'm surprised he's all the way down here. CJ Ham at the bottom. I don't know what PFF's talking about there. Aaron Jones 49.9. Don't get it. There's some things that are a little goofy here, but whatever. You got, and then of course Cam Robinson comes in, was on the team for like 3 days or whatever, and has a really solid showing as the left tackle. Really good move. The fact that we might have only given up a 5th round pick that could turn into a 4th is pretty impressive for a starting left tackle. I'm surprised that we even got that. Anyways,
I guess we got some stuff, and we saw the grades. We have some of our thoughts on some studs and some duds from this game. So let's jump into a couple of those. Some fun ones to talk about here. There's a lot to talk about after this game, and it's kind of fun.
Did you look the ones I put on here? I put all the ones.
Quick gander. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, let's keep doing that, and we'll go with actually, before we even mention that, actually, let me hit some of these comments real quick, because I'm leaving y'all hanging for a second here. I see you. How about no? What we got here? Dexter Lawrence. Ginkles just dropped into coverage a lot. Okay. Look great for coverage is beyond dumb. Yeah. Especially outside linebackers. Anyone near the linebacker, they account for them as coverage. Yeah. Let's go ahead and come and get the Vikings love. Let's go. Hey, let's see what Addison's dad said. Yeah.
We can get into, which we'll get into.
We'll get into that. Okay. Yeah. Cam Akers was a stud, and
yeah, honestly, he
just destroyed on that one drive was huge.
Yeah. Kevin O'Connell said Ty Chandler will continue to get some snaps, but I mean, I think it's pretty clear Cam Akers has to be running back too. I mean, he's much more well-rounded running back, a little bit of a better blocker than because obviously Ty Chandler is one of the things he struggles with is blocking. It's just every time Akers touches the ball, something good happens. So
yeah, exactly. But anyways, starting with our duds with the first one, we're going interior offensive line. Casey, I'll let you take it away there.
Yeah, I mean, we all know this. It's not great, right? I mean, even Brandel, they put him one-on-one with DeForest Buckner. He got beat pretty bad. On the strip sack, like freaking Superman punch to the face of Darnold there. Like I said, I think Ingram and Bradbury ended up playing a little bit of footsie. Bradbury just completely falls over. Darnold fumbles, gets returned for a touchdown. It's just infuriating. I mean, I get it. Ingram's a decent run blocker, but for a pass first team, I don't care how bad Reisner is at run blocking. I get it's not his strong suit, but we're a pass first team. Get your better pass blocking offensive line in there. I don't know if this is a little bit of draft pick pride, thinking like, hey, we don't want to give up on this draft pick yet because he has played some decent football throughout his career, but there's been a lot more bad than good. Bradbury is who he is. You're not replacing him till next year, but you can make one move right now, and that is get Ingram out of there, get Reisner back in there. But just overall, I get it. It's a solid defensive front from the Colts, but some of the things we saw yesterday is just kind of inexcusable from the. I mean, like I said, Brandel isn't without blame either. So it's just the interior is just. I mean, it has been rough, and it showed up again today. I mean, we're not going to be able to be a consistently good team if something doesn't get cleaned up a little bit there. So that's probably one of the moves that needs to be made there.
Yeah, and just like they're all saying, I like this one. LL Jamie, just circle that and it pretty much is every week, and it is. And we've faced some decent interior D linemen throughout this season, but I mean, it's. Whenever I watch that, it just shows how obvious it is to me what we're missing on our defense, and you could say in our offense, obviously. But we're just seeing these how much that impacts when you have that pressure coming from the middle of a defense, and we see it with Sam Darnold throughout that. I mean, I would say throughout the first 3 quarters. That fourth quarter, things were starting to come together a little bit on the offensive line, and Sam Darnold had some time. And when he had time, he was making decisions. And I know a lot of people's talking about his progressions and things like that, which is definitely true. And we have a slide here for Sam Darnold that will probably actually might even be the next one. So maybe I'll just put that one up after this. But some of it too is like, man, when I feel like when you're getting pressure coming in right into your face, it makes things a lot more difficult to go through your progressions and things like that. And that's something that he has been dealing with all year. Anyway, so we might as well just keep it going. Hey, I see you, Zoe. My guys, let's go. Hey, welcome in, dude. Appreciate you. But yeah, so we might as well keep going. We got Sam Darnold for turnovers specifically. Overall, I don't think he had a bad game. I mean, the interceptions it was even. I mean, 3 touchdowns. He threw for 3 touchdowns. He had a lot of completions. He had 2 really bad turnovers. I don't care what anybody says. He got punched in the freaking helmet or whatever. That should have been a penalty. You still got to hold on the ball. Fair. I'll get it. But I'll because it's supposed to be a penalty, I'll take that one away from him. But still, on the stat sheet, it still is 3 turnovers because of him. His progressions, obviously, not seeing Jordan Addison wide open on his second interception is bad. And then the fact that it took him until this week, which is good, that we use a lot of Jordan Addison and we used a lot of other weapons on this team. And he was trying to go through some of his progressions. But the fact that Jordan Addison really wasn't involved until this week after knowing he's always getting open. And even in this game, he was still getting open and Sam Darnold wasn't really finding him consistently. But overall, when it matters, like all that being said, like, yes, he could go through his progressions. I get it. He's Sam Darnold. I mean, he was a bust before coming here. We paid $10 million. He's easily surpassed that 1-year, $10 million contract. He's probably been one of the best rentals the Vikings have ever had, 1-year rentals. Like, it is what it is. He needs to go through his progression. He gets better, but we know what he is. Of course he needs to get better. He wasn't supposed to come in here and be some Pro Bowl quarterback, but he's better than any other quarterback that we probably could go out and get. And the big reason why is, yes, he's made a couple of stupid turnovers. He doesn't go through his progressions, but over and over and over again, when it really matters, he's going down and putting points on the board and getting positions to get points on the board, including this one, ultimately scoring 3 touchdown passes in the second half, including that the dagger to Josh Oliver. So overall, like the fact that you're paying $10 million for a guy that can drive you down the field when it really matters to score points, I think is worth the money by itself.
For sure. And the big thing is, and again, like, yes, he'll make that mistake, but he's not, just like Kevin O'Connell said early on in the season, he's not compounding those mistakes by playing scared football later on down the stretch. And Kevin O'Connell said it today in his press conference, or said it last night. He said, I know he has a turnover. He said, Sam's going to be the first guy to tell you can't do that, which Sam Darnold did before even being asked any questions at his post-game presser. But Kevin O'Connell is going to continue to be aggressive with Sam Darnold because Sam Darnold has the talent to do it. It's just the mentals, right? And that's exactly what you said. We knew coming into this year what Sam Darnold was, right? So the fact that we're getting this out of Sam Darnold for $10 million, 1,900 yards, 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, You take that all day long. And I saw some people on Twitter last night saying, "Oh, I'm tired of Sam Darnold already. Maybe we got to give Nick Mullins a shot." Like, no, you and I said coming into the season after the McCarthy injury, we said, I don't care what happens this year. I do not care if Sam Darnold plays like absolute garbage all year long. Just ride with Sam Darnold, roll with it. No quarterback carousels, no quarterback controversies. And Kevin O'Connell has squashed all of that. Even after all the turnovers, every game, he just says he trusts Sam Darnold. He knows Sam Darnold can go out there and get it done, and he's going to keep being aggressive. So, yes, the turnovers were stupid, rolling out to the left, which is actually kind of funny because that's exactly how the game ended on for the touchdown to Oliver rolling out to his left. But it's just, and again, you're seeing some of the things why he is on his 4th team in 7 years and why he was considered a bust of a number 3 overall pick and why you got him for $10 million, right? Some really, really good plays. But and I think the big thing was those first 4 games, he made some of those dumb mistakes, but they just didn't come back to bite him. Now we're finally seeing some of those come back to bite him. But again, the first interception, yes, absolutely ridiculous. Just dumb throw. Just throw that ball away. You're under pressure. You got out of the pocket. Just get rid of it. The second one, again, he continues to hone in on Justin Jefferson, which you understand, right? Because Justin Jefferson's the best wide receiver in football. But that play again, three was free. 3 was wide open. Yeah. If he waits an extra second, that's a touchdown. He doesn't see it. He throws to Jefferson, who's triple covered. That's exactly the play Addison's dad was talking about. Said Stevie Wonder could even see my boy was wide open on that one. So yes, Sam Darnold turnovers frustrating. Yes, but Sam Darnold, for all things considered, is playing some really, really damn good football this year. And I'm riding with Sam Darnold all year long. Overall, I come away impressed with how Sam Darnold plays. Yes, he has the dumb plays, but again, that's why he's on his 4th team.
He's putting you in position to win.
Darnold is playing just fine to help this team win football games. Clean up the mistakes a little bit, and he knows he can't do that. Hopefully, he learns from it, moves on. But anybody who's out here saying it's time to bench Sam Darnold, I'm sorry, just get out.
I mean, for just that in general, Sam Darnold 17-7, right? That's what you said. 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Yep. 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Last year, Nick Mullins had 7 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. So that is massively different. And I don't know any way you want to spin it. I know Nick Mullins kind of had that gunslinger mindset. Dude, Sam Darnold kind of does too. I would say that has been the issue with Sam Darnold is he's kind of has that gunslinger thing, and that's where his interceptions are coming from. But he is definitely way better with the football than Nick Mullins. And he puts us, the biggest thing with Sam Darnold is over and over and over again, he's putting us in position to win these games. This game, you could say, was, if we lost this game, could you have put it, and we didn't score that last touchdown or whatever, could you have put it on Sam Darnold? Probably. That's fair. But there's not been a single other game this season where you felt like we lost because of Sam Darnold, or we almost lost with Sam Darnold, or anything like that. Like the games against the Lions and the Rams, we did not lose because of Sam Darnold. And I mean, you can't ask for anything more than from a $10 million quarterback.
Absolutely.
So that's just, I mean, Sam Darnold, like, he's in great. He's not an all-pro. You know, I think after the first 3 games, we're like, oh man, like MVP talk and stuff like that. Who knows? I don't even know. But the fact is, and one thing, I wasn't even a Sam Darnold guy coming in. He's doing way better than I expected him to do, for sure. But I've come away so far, like, yes, he has progression issues and he can make some better decisions. But I'm like, at 26 years old, he has so much time to improve that honestly, I would not doubt if he goes to another team and he does progress into a really good quarterback. You can see the confidence. He's not really timid in the pocket anymore. None of those kind of things. I think he has a chance, not with us because we got JJ McCarthy, but I do think for another team, I think he has, if he can keep working on this after this season on his faults, I think he could end up being a really, really solid quarterback in this league.
Yeah. It's just the turnovers with Darnold. Like 3 touchdown passes.
What up, Adam?
Dude. Good stuff.
Anyways, we'll keep on going. But Sam Darnold, obviously, I mean, you got to talk about him every single week. But overall,
we'll talk about him more later.
Yeah, and we definitely probably will. I'd like to see some design. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'm surprised because he has enough athleticism to do some of those things. That would be cool. I'd like to see that, actually. That's a good point because I've never even really thought about that.
But again, 17 touchdowns, 7 picks, 6-2 record. There's another quarterback out there who's got a 17-7 touchdown interception ratio, and he's making $45 million a year. You might have heard of him. He might have been here for a minute. I don't know. We can move on to the next dud, though.
Yeah, the next dud, unfortunately, is Thrill's bum leg. Obviously, once you knew, like when he kicked that first field goal attempt, it looked off. The fact that he even almost came back and almost went in was kind of wild. And it was like, oh no. And then obviously a 31-yarder misses that as well. And then we find out that he has some leg issues. And then it all made total sense. And we all know Will the Thrill would never miss a kick unless something was absolutely physically wrong. And that is the case here. And hopefully, we got to put his leg on here because he did miss 2 of those. He did hit all his extra points. Hopefully, I don't know what's really taking so long with them trying to diagnose him in his leg because we've been waiting for that news all day long. But hopefully everything's okay. Maybe worst case scenario, I'm hoping like maybe you miss a week or something like that. And then which will survive. It's Jacksonville. We'll be okay. And then hopefully we can get him back as soon as possible.
Yeah. I would much rather have a physically broken kicker than a mentally broken kicker. Right?
What up, Steve?
At the end of the day. He's not going to. He doesn't have the yips. He went out there. He nailed those extra points when he had to. Kevin O'Connell said he was ready to go in case they needed him for another big kick. So, as long as the injury is not too severe, he's going to be just fine. But it is kind of concerning that 2/3 of your kicking operations out of commission right now with DePaula most likely landing on short-term IR. And then you got obviously Riker, who knows how long he's going to be out. But the leg will heal up. I know he dealt with a torn quad back in 2019 in college, which people are a little bit concerned about. He's going to be just fine. His head's still in the right spot, and that's really all that matters when it comes to kickers. But yeah, unfortunately, it sucks. Kind of, put a damper on his amazing rookie season so far, but he'll bounce back.
Yeah, no, I think so. And I think he's going to be all right. He's going to be all right. I promise you that. Again, everybody, giving away the Jordan Addison rookie card. Get the hashtag Skulls in the comments, like the video, and subscribe. All those good things. I told everybody earlier, I just bought a bunch of JJ McCarthy rookies, so hopefully I get some of those in here, and then we can start running those as well. For our last...
One other thought process I had with Will Reichard, the last couple of weeks, he's been kicking a ton of field goals. Maybe these 2 misses were his way of saying, like, all right, offense, you guys can score some touchdowns now. I'm not going to carry you to the promised land all the time. So might have been a little deeper thinking there with Will Reichard. I don't know.
Could be. Let's go to our last dud, which would have made the list 2 weeks in a row. And that is the ref's eyes. I don't know, 2 weeks in a row, we see a highlight of people. Well, the first one was grabbing his face mask. The second one was punching him in the helmet. And in both the highlights, there's a ref staring right at him the whole entire time on both of those. And that's significant because people say like, hey, like I know like Sam Darnold shouldn't be doing a turnover or whatever. You can't blame things on the ref. It is what it is. The game ended 13. They had 13 points and 7 came from a play that ended up being their only touchdown. And it should have been a 15-yard penalty in our favor. And that changes everything in the entire game if that was called correctly. I think the main thing for me that blows my mind is generally the quarterbacks kind of get too, like, maybe that's the thing. Like, quarterbacks get too much.
Right.
Like, that's why defenders get so mad because quarterbacks get, like, the bullshit penalties. Like, they're called, like, almost immediately. Like, you get a little bit too low, call. If you get a little bit too high, call. All those kinds of things. And for Sam Darnold, it can be as blatant as possible, and they're still not calling it on him. So, I don't know. That pisses me off because those are huge. I mean, if we lost that game, it could have been like, oh, wow, it's because they got a touchdown that they shouldn't have had. And it would have put us in at least, I forgot where we were at when that happened, but I think we were in midfield at least. So, I mean, we could have scored a touchdown on that.
Oh, yeah. Darrisaw did have the surgery today. Announced was successful. That's good to hear. I mean, obviously, curious to see how long that recovery is going to take. I mean, he's a big boy, so it might take a little bit longer, but Darrisaw's going to be just fine.
What up, T-Bass? Yeah, that was good. Anyways, any thoughts on these refs?
Said it all. Just Sam Darnold, I feel bad for his head. He's going to keep taking those shots, and no one's ever going to call any penalties on him. Probably just because he's Sam Darnold. I don't get it, but It is what it is.
All right, let's get to our studs now, starting with the run defense. Casey, I'll let you take it from here.
Yes, I mean, obviously, we said coming into this game after Detroit destroyed us on the ground with their two-headed monster at running back. Kyron Williams had a really solid game against us. So you were coming into this game with the run defense not showing its best thing. Blake Cashman being out again, and you had Jonathan Taylor coming in averaging 5.1 yards per carry on the season. And we said the key to this game and stopping this offense was stopping the run first and foremost. And Jonathan Taylor, 13 carries, 48 yards, 3.7 yards per carry in a game that was pretty tight all the way through. So it's not like the game got out of hand and they had to stop running the football. What we were able to do against the run this game was absolutely phenomenal. This defense, the whole thing started with stopping Jonathan Taylor and not allowing Joe Flacco to get into any sort of play action game, not allowing him to sit back and pick you apart in the pocket there. So what we were able to do against Jonathan Taylor was the key to this game on defense. And yeah, that it was, I mean,
and we can
50 yards rushing with Jonathan Taylor. It's amazing.
And 100%, like that's exactly, everybody knew that. Like you stop Jonathan Taylor, that's number one thing to do. And we did just that. And their offense could not move on us at all. They didn't score any touchdowns. Honestly, they really only got that one field goal on us. That was like the one time they actually had any real points. The last time was kind of garbage time, whatever, ended up being like a pass interference, and then they kick a field goal. But this is a good time just to talk about this defense in general. They really stepped up in this game, not just against the run, but even in the pass. And I mean, they were bringing on the pressure. They just could not get home, which is still annoying that we do so many blitzes, but we just cannot get home, which again, I do think is an interior defensive problem for sure. And I do think if we had a guy there, whether that's this year or continue moving forward into these next handful of years, I do think that makes a huge difference as far as a lot of these pressures turning into sacks. But we were getting pressure on Flacco pretty much the whole game. And even guys like Michael Pittman Jr. ended up having one catch for 14 yards, a really good wide receiver. So that just shows you how good everybody was in coverage for the most part. They weren't just beating us up with these short throws like the Rams and the Lions did in those last two games. Again, you're playing against really talented offenses and really talented players these last two games. It's going to be some of your hardest offensive matchups all year. And it is a big difference there. And Flores just got beat. It was nice to see him make a comeback here. But again, going into obviously when we get to playoffs and things like that, you're going to be playing some of the best offenses no matter what. So you do got to get all those things tightened up. But hopefully we're on the right track there.
Absolutely. So,
anything else you had on the defense as a whole?
Nope. I thought they played it really again. Is it with Joe Flacco there? Is it one of the best offenses in the world? No, not really. But you got to be able to stop them. And the fact that you held the weapons that they do have to minimal gains, you got to be happy about it.
Hoping to get Cashman back for the Jags game.
That'd
be sweet. I mean, they keep telling us like we think he could be back for next game. So hopefully it's one of those things where it just feels it's what those injuries where it like comes out of nowhere and then they keep pushing it week to week to week. It's like you just never know when they're actually going to come back, but hopefully we do see it.
For sure.
Keeping on going here, we have to put Cam Robinson. I mean, he did it wasn't like he did an absolute amazing job, but he did very, very solid for coming on a team in like 3 days or whatever, and holding his own on that left side of the offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, he allowed 2 pressures, sure, but like you said, got here Wednesday, practiced for a couple days, got on the field, and he kept Sam Darnold clean. I think there was one where Darnold kind of got hit and he got in the face of the defender, so he's already fitting in well on this team. You can tell he's into it.
Yeah.
I mean, is anybody Christian Darrisaw? No, but Cam Robinson was easily for me the best choice to finish off this season with what it took,
especially with what you got him for. I mean,
exactly.
It was like that's a gift from the football gods for you to give a 5th round pick for a starting left tackle that doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like that's a gift, bro. Sure. That's a gift. We got lucky there. If that's not a sign for good things ahead, I don't know what is. And maybe we'll find something big before the trade deadline tomorrow. But keeping on rolling here again, everybody, we might as well talk about it because obviously we got the boys on here. Again, Jordan Addison, rookie card, having a big bounce back week this week. JJ and Addy end up combining, and Addison should have had probably 100 yards himself, but they ended up you got 7 receptions for 137 yards to Justin Jefferson and 5 receptions for 42 yards from Jordan Addison, with one of the most beautiful catches you're going to see all year probably for his touchdown. So, I mean, unbelievable catch there.
You know what's crazy? Justin Jefferson, because it feels like he hasn't had like those, he's had a couple 100-yard games or whatever. Right. Feels like he hasn't had like that huge game yet. He's leading the league in receiving.
Oh, he is
and he's
now?
Played one less. He's played one less game than second and third place on the list.
Dang.
Like, it's crazy. It feels like it's been kind of a quiet year for him so far.
Yeah.
And yet he's leading the league in receiving. Like, how insane is that? Like,
and he has 5 touchdowns. You love that he has 5 touchdowns.
So that's been a big thing. He's gotten a lot of yardage in the past, but he hasn't always found the end zone. And
he's getting a little bit of both.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. He can make this list every week because the guy's just so good. I mean, that go ball, we had the one-on-one coverage. Absolute dime by Sam Darnold, which again,
what up, Marco Bryant? He missed Addison.
Is like the good of Sam Darnold. Hey man, thanks so much for hopping in. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Addison could have had another 40 or 50 yards and another touchdown as well. And again, like, was free 3? Was it the slogan? Was it random? What did it mean something? Obviously, it got him somewhere. He was looked at a lot more in the run game and the pass game. Kevin O'Connell in his post-game locker room speech kept saying, I gotta try to find a way to get this guy the ball more. Like, no matter what, squeaky wheel always gets the grease, even if he didn't mean anything by it. And I mean, this offense just runs so much more efficiently if Sam Darnold's spreading the ball around, and you have 2 such talented receivers, 2 first-round pick receivers, the best in the league, and Addison, who's, I mean, solid, really, really solid in his own right, just doesn't get the chance to show it all the time. He dealt with the injuries, and again, I think that kind of contributes to him and Darnold not having that connection. But we're starting to see that grow. He trusted him on that the touchdown there where Addison made one of the best catches of the year. When these 2 are on and the run game's working and Darnold's just playing free and slinging it, this offense can be unstoppable. I mean, we put up 415 yards worth of offense, and these 2 were a huge part of that. So, I mean, this pass game, man, when it's working, and TJ Hawkinson didn't even have that much. I mean,
first game back too,
27 yards. So,
and all those weapons.
If we're talking about receivers, probably should toss in Josh Oliver as well. 5 catches, 58 yards, and the huge touchdown at the end of the game there. So, but yeah, these two and Aaron Jones are kind of what makes this offense go. And when these 2 are on, it's hard to stop.
Well, and that's why it is like, and just coming back to it, like the Addison and Darnold connection, like that chemistry, hopefully we saw it a little bit more this week. Hopefully it continues to grow, because that's the thing is, like, with your Sam Darnold, if you're not going through all your progressions and just looking for whoever's wide open, and you just really want to get the ball to Justin Jefferson because you have that chemistry with him, you trust him. Like, we just need that with Jordan Addison too. So that way he just, like, he looks towards Jordan Addison a lot because he just is getting so open so often. And there's so many big plays that we're missing. And Addison's a stud in that area. I mean, Addison's first touchdown with Sam Darnold right away was a big, long touchdown. And Addison can do that. So hopefully going forward here, we do see some more Sam Darnold to Addison connection. One other thing I did want to mention that I really did like to see is, because I was talking all last week, if I'm Addison, I personally don't believe he posted that to ruffle feathers or anything like that last week. But in my opinion, if I was him, I would be irritated quietly. He wasn't being involved in the offense from a play calling standpoint. And then obviously even his connection with Sam Darnold wasn't great. This game, he had a sweep, he had a screen. I just like the fact that Kevin O'Connell made sure to come in this game and get Addison involved in the play calling, and not just, making him get open to get a potential catch and things like that. So that's what we got to do. We got to do it with him. We got to do it with Justin Jefferson. We got to do that with TJ Hawkinson, with Aaron Jones, and it really can set up everything for this offense moving forward here. So on to play with Jets McCarthy and JJ, JJ McCarthy. I mean, he'd go through his progressions. He finds Jordan Addison on that every single time, and we'll find that out next year, hopefully. But anything else on them, or anything else on this offense in general?
I guess when we're going to talk about the offense, you got to talk about the man behind it, huh?
Probably. And that's KOC's final. Just my boy grew a pair. Took him 39 years, but he fucking did it this last week. Let's go. Kevin O'Connell, that final drive was not fucking around. Ultimately, getting into a spot where you felt like he could run it 2 times in a row, and instead he pulls out that touchdown to Josh Oliver to seal the game. Love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, unfortunately, I think JJ is like out for the year. I don't think he's on season-ending IR. So
once you're on season, even if he's even if he came back healthy or whatever, he's just already season IR.
But how cool is it to see him on the sidelines with the play sheet in hand, the mic, the headset on, and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Like he is in this, man. But yeah, I mean, Kevin, like you said, that final drive Kevin O'Connell playing to win the game, and a big thing. And this is why, like, the players like when the coaches do this, because it shows trust. Like, Kevin O'Connell trusted his guys to go out and get the job done, and they did just that. And, like, if you're going to talk about just that, I want to talk about more with Kevin O'Connell. We mentioned it earlier. Like, I have always been a huge proponent of Kevin O'Connell, the head coach, right? Kevin O'Connell, the offensive play caller, has been suspect. Like, we've seen the last couple weeks, the first 15 are always amazing, and then we go through those lulls, right? This game, I know, and I'm sorry, T-Bass, I'm going to disagree with what you said earlier. I know what you said about he has a lot to fix on the offense because we struggled against one of the best or worst defenses in the league. We didn't really struggle. We had 415 yards of offense. We were moving the ball efficiently in the first half. It just came down to Darnold making the bad decisions, right? So Kevin O'Connell, to me, and he said it going into this week, and Justin Jefferson mentioned it as well, that he was going to try to simplify things and really kind of and really just make the process at the line of scrimmage go faster. I don't know if he thought he was putting too much on Darnold's shoulders or what, which led to like the no pre-snap penalties, and the offense with no pre-snap penalties and being able to go out there and do what they wanted to do. We moved the ball effectively all game long. Sure, it didn't come up to any points in the first half because of the turnovers or because of the missed field goals, but you can't sit here and tell me straight up that Kevin O'Connell didn't adjust and that this offense wasn't firing on all cylinders all game long, because they were. Again, the scoreboard didn't show it. This game easily could have been 34-6, right? Could have been another one of those huge blowout games. I just like to see that Kevin O'Connell is developing as a play caller / head coach. He's being aggressive. He is, again, when he noticed something wasn't working, he took himself out of it and just said, hey, I know this is how I want to run our offense. We just can't run it this way right now because it's just not working. So he changed things. He streamlined everything. And as we saw from this game, sure, the scoreboard doesn't show it, but from a yardage perspective and the way we were moving the football all game long, it's working. And I love the fact that he has so much trust in Sam Darnold that he didn't try to pull off at the end there. Like the Monday night game against the Bears last year was, I thought, a lot of him not having trust in Josh Dobbs to do the job. Where this year, you can tell he trusts Sam Darnold to get the ball to his playmakers, and that's what happened. And that's what led to that last drive, to where he decided, let's go win this game. Sam Darnold's made a couple mistakes. I'm going to keep giving him the chances to be aggressive. We're going to keep throwing the football, and we did just that. Huge game by Kevin O'Connell. Now you got to keep doing it consistently.
Yeah, and that's a big thing, is like we saw him do that in this game, but we need to see him doing that every single game, you know?
Yep. So, but I mean, I know people like one of my coworkers today is like, yeah, but that Colts defense is awful. It's like, it's still 415 yards worth of offense. That's a lot of yards. Like you don't do that. Like you don't do that against really bad defenses all the time. And the fact that we were able to do that was fantastic. Like,
and their defense isn't that bad.
There was some flow to it.
I mean, their defense isn't
their front is really good.
Yeah, their front's good. Their linebacker group is good. Their secondary is bad. But they're not like the worst defense in the NFL or anything like that. This is funny though. KSC couldn't get any worse as a play call considering how bad he is now. Too evil, of course. Who's a better running back on yards? Are you asking running?
64, Akers had 46, but Akers averaged 7.7 per carry.
Akers was eating up that game, dude. It was nice to see him have that. But let's keep on moving here. Again, everybody, giving away the Jordan Addison rookie card. Get the hashtag Skol in the comments, like the video, and subscribe. Let's get to the old gauntlet here. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Game ball, biggest loser, start, sit. The ones that we always have, Sam Darnold report, even though we've already talked a lot about them. Trade deadline buyers, ? And any week 10 predictions. Casey, let me know when you are ready to start on this.
All right, let's roll.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Obviously, it would be easy to give the game ball to Justin Jefferson. I'm not giving it to Sam Darnold, actually, but I am going to give the game ball to Jordan Addison. He was my X factor going into this game. I do think there was something to free 3, and no matter what, it worked because he was free. They got him the football. He had a huge touchdown, one of the best catches, at least on the Vikings this year. I don't know if I'd say the best catch in the NFL, but it's definitely top 5 this year so far, one-handed. Jordan Addison gets my game ball for this one. Finally can get to contribute on offense.
All right. For me, I was going to go, I wanted Addison as well. I'll go both of them. I'm just going to go with the wide receivers. Actually, you know what? We'll give the game ball to the entire defense. And I mean, I guess you could give it to Brian Flores, but coming in here and stopping Jonathan Taylor the way they did against Jonathan Taylor, who's averaging like 5.5 yards per carry or something like that before coming into this game. That was massive. And ultimately, I do think it's the reason why we could have won.
What's up, Soup? How's it going?
Hey, Soldier Soup, my guy in the building. Let's go, Sarah, too.
Start sit. I mean, do we even need to talk about this for 30? Do we even need to talk about this for 30 seconds? I mean, start Dalton Reisner, sit at Ingram. It just kind of is what it is there. Yeah, I'm not going to waste any more time. That's my thoughts.
Did you do the Biggest Loser?
Oh, I didn't do Biggest Loser. We should probably go back and do that, huh?
Yeah, we'll go do that.
I'll just wait for the clock reset. Biggest Loser for me. That's tough. It's tough. I guess you could just lump it in with interior offensive line, but I will go with the Sam Darnold turnovers. Again, just inexcusable plays and really slowed the offense down when the offense was driving and doing some really good things. So the turnovers were bad, and a lot of those, like one of the turnovers was caused by some terrible interior offensive line play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to go with the interior offensive line overall, especially in the first 3 quarters. And Sam Darnold did make some big mistakes, but he was getting pass rushed within the middle of that offense pretty much that entire time in the first 3 quarters. And like I said, things were clearing up later on in the game, and we were able to take advantage of that and ultimately getting 21 points on the board. But obviously, that's something we literally talk about like every single week. And luckily, we're in another game that there isn't a lot of losers overall. So it's always good when it's kind of hard to come up with a loser.
For sure.
Anyways, start and sit. I guess, I mean, Casey kind of already did this one.
Go ahead with yours.
All right, I'll do it real quick. So obviously, get Reisner in there instead of Ingram. Like Casey mentioned before, you're a pass-first offense. You should probably have a pass-first right guard in there instead of a run-first right guard. And I think you should do that and get him in there. As far as other players, we bring Murphy up a lot on this one. I would say he deserves another week. That was a big interception that we really needed. Though I do still want to see some Nudie, 100%.
Yeah. Sam Darnold report. I guess.
Hold on. Boom. All right, let me know when you're ready.
All right, go ahead.
Boom.
Again, we've talked about it ad nauseum. The turnovers were bad, and we saw some of the bad Sam Darnold plays in the first 4 weeks. They just didn't hurt him at that time. This one did. I mean, that red zone interception to TJ Hawkinson's direction, unacceptable. Passing up on an open Addison for a triple cover Justin Jefferson. There's still those things where he cues in on those on Justin Jefferson. He holds the ball too long, takes some sacks. But when we needed him to make plays, he came up big. Sam Darnold is playing perfectly fine for a $10 million quarterback. Stick with him the rest of the year. He's going to bring this team to the playoffs.
100%. I mean, he's doing everything you could ever possibly ask for $10 million 1 year. Pretty much a high majority of the fans thought we paid too much, and I was one of them. I was like, $8 million. I get why he's paid $10 million, but we all felt like he's too much. He's playing like at least a $30 million quarterback. He's up there with the Bakers out here and a lot of the Geno Smiths out here and things like that for sure. So overall, solid. Still mistakes though.
Yep. Trade deadline.
Let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead.
Boom.
Yeah, I think. Look, I mean, are you going to be big time spenders, like big time buyers? Probably not, unless a big name like a Dexter Lawrence, Quinnen Williams, Jeffrey Simmons comes available, which I don't think they will. But I do think that you do need to shore up some of those positions. And I'm just looking at defensive interior. Like, you don't want to trade for a starting guard at this point. You got to you stick with what you got. Just hope for the best. But I think they will try to get a defensive interior player. If it's a guy who only has like a year left on his contract, I do want to see you spend 2026 picks though. But yes, bye.
Yeah, I'm with you. As far as offensive linemen, we just trade for one. I don't think we double down on offensive line. I think I'd rather see us give Reisner a chance before we'd even do something like that. But defensive line, I think that's absolutely what we need. but I think it's a boomer bust situation. I think you either go all in and you go get someone who's going to be here for the next 4 years, and you might have to give up a couple first round picks to give yourself a chance this year and moving forward, or you don't even mess with it at all, because I don't want to give away picks for a rental and ultimately, we don't make it this year. Now we gave up future assets for like the JJ McCarthy era.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, for the last one, week 10 predictions against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Some early predictions here. Let's go.
All right. This is the game. This is like we saw the offense move, didn't quite turn into points. This is the game where everything finally clicks on offense, and we go out and we win by 3 touchdowns again. I think the defense keeps them in check. No Christian Kirk for that team. Brian Thomas is still a problem. Their running backs are a little bit whatever. Etienne's not playing well. Tank Bigsby. Trevor Lawrence isn't quite the guy that everyone thought he would be. So I think we dominate this team, win by, I'm going to say 17 points to 3 touchdowns, somewhere around there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, this is probably the worst team that we've played this season. Worse than the Colts, worse than the Giants. I mean, nobody really expected them to be this bad, but Trevor Lawrence has taken a big back step. And I think that, they have like 1 win, maybe they have 2 wins. I do think this is a game that we put everything together. It's been we haven't put everything together except since the first half of that Packers game. And I do think we do this in Jacksonville.
I like it.
All right. Let me hit some comments here. Mark, I saw you, my guy in the building. Hey, Mark, by the way, you never hit me up for that Ivan Pace Jr. auto. You got to hit us up. Got to hit us up. 2-tone 45-10. Yeah, I guess early predictions on that for score predictions. I mean, I'm going to say early. I'm going to say 31-14. Is that what you said?
I said 30. I said 34-14.
34-14. I like 14. We can go. Sometimes we can have the similar ones, Why not?
Why not? Big Raylan with the 199. Sam's numbers are better than Flacco's Super Bowl year. I mean, again, yes, I think everyone wants to.
Raylan, appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Everyone wants to compound the bad interceptions and some of the bonehead plays that Sam Darnold makes, which again, there's a reason why he's on his 4th team. But you can't lie with 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and some of just the big balls throws that he's made this year. Like, Sam Darnold is playing perfectly fine. He's going to be okay. And we're only using him for this year. We just need him to get us to the playoffs and see what he can do there. Sam Darnold's doing okay.
Mark, I just dropped the email in there if you want just to drop it in there. I mean, you can do it. You can get it whenever you want, but it's in there. It's in there. Skolger, Gary got to meet up for a game. Skolger, you coming to Skullfest next year. I already know. Anyways, so I guess to end it here, can I get a Jordan Addison one? But I'm gonna send the info when I get home. Can I get a Jordan Addison one? You want a Jordan Addison instead?
I would take.
I don't have a Jordan Addison auto, but this one's like this one's worth way more. I mean, it's a Ivan Pace Jr. auto.
Yeah, I would take that one and just get back in the running tonight, man.
Yeah, I am giving away. Yeah, because I am giving away Jordan Addison rookie card tonight. So get the hashtag Skol in the comments, like the video, and subscribe. But Mark, hey, I'll give you a Jordan Addison instead if you want. But
wouldn't recommend it.
Probably wouldn't recommend it.
But I guess a little bit of
your other hats.
Little bit of trade deadline talk here.
You got the good ones right here.
We do. $30. If anybody wants one, $30. Drop an email and we'll get that rolling. But I guess trade deadline, as we kind of talked about, I do think this Colts win was kind of a determining factor. Like, I think Kwesi had some ideas, and I think if we lost this game, he might have taken a little step backwards with that. But the fact that we won and we're showing some things on offense again, that we can move the football. I mean, I think at this point, and the defense stepped up. I think at this point, hey, we appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Hey,
for the
let's
sub.
go, dude. Appreciate you.
Need that, man. Yeah, we are here every Monday and Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Time for live stream. So make sure to hop in and join us for all those.
Also, check us out on Bleacher Reports twice a week, Wednesdays, and right after the games as well.
Absolutely. We do give things away here. Hashtag Skull in the comments, as Jamie's mentioned multiple times. So.
Oh yeah. Barbara forgot. Yeah. Let's go. They are.
Yeah,
nice, dude. I like them a lot.
I
do like them a lot. Yeah.
Absolutely. But I do think now that we won this Colts game, I think if there is a way for Kwesi to be aggressive and get a young player that's going to help out this team now and in the future, I think he's going to take a swing and try to do it. I really do. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone always says they're so worried about draft picks, and then everyone bitches that Kwesi can't draft. So if we're going to trade him anyway, so if he can't draft, we might as well just trade him, right?
Yeah.
So, but so far, his last first round picks have all looked pretty solid. But I don't know.
Jordan Addison's good.
Addison, Turner's
Dallas Turner is looking good. JJ McCarthy is going to be the GOAT next Tom Brady, but better. Tom Brady with legs. Just bringing it to the freaking ceiling here. We're going to the moon, baby.
Yeah, but I could see Kwesi being aggressive, and I mean, obviously, if there's any news on that, it's gonna hit us quickly because it's tomorrow afternoon. The trade deadline closes. So
this is where I'm at with a lot of those things. Is one, as far as this season goes, like I said, boom or bust. Like either go for it. Specifically, defensive interior. I'm not as all in as far as cornerback goes. I know moving forward, if you're gonna go get a cornerback, you definitely get a guy that you can sign. And he's not going to be a rental, and you're not just getting him to win. Because I think what we got with Gilmore, I know he's old, but we got with him and Griffin specifically, I think that's fine for this year. If you were to go trade for a guy like, let's say, even Lattimore, yes, that would be an upgrade. But how significantly? I mean, it would be a pretty big upgrade for our secondary, I guess. But you're paying him $30 million a year moving forward. And the biggest thing with cornerbacks for me is this offseason, when we have all the money, there's way more cornerback options for us in free agency than there is defensive interior. So I think I would feel better to go into this offseason and spend our money in free agency on a cornerback instead of trading for a cornerback now, since there's not going to be a lot of defensive interiors anyways. And if we're going to give up draft picks, I think I'd rather do that for a defensive interior. But if we went and did that and we got a guy like Reed, Reed or Reader?
DJ Reed.
Yeah, DJ Reed. Or what's that? Yeah, for the Jets. And then, what's the kids from Carolina?
Oh, JC Horn.
Yeah, JC Horn. I don't know. If we got any of those guys and we gave up and we had to trade some picks, I guess. I wouldn't be super sad. At least you got some, because after this season, once Gilmore and Shaq Griffin are gone, cornerback immediately becomes our biggest issue by far. So it would make sense to go do that. But I feel like that might be a move I'd rather see in the offseason than right before the trade deadline too. I think a pass rusher would be a lot more of an impact on this team this year than a cornerback would, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't, now that the Jets won that last game, I don't see them trading anybody. I think they're going to keep trying to go for it. So I don't see a way that they get rid of DJ Reed. And I really think that Carolina, I think they want to hold on to JC Horn, especially since they still have him under his 5th-year option. So, but yeah, so we'll see.
We'll see.
Again, I would love to see them make a huge move and get a young corner or mainly defensive interior, maybe a corner just so you can have for, the next 3-4 seasons already locked up, but we'll see if it gets to that point. Do you think we need another defensive tackle? Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what we think is our biggest problem.
We said that after the draft. Like, I would have been perfectly fine had we hung around and instead of trading up to get Dallas Turner. I'd have been cool with sticking at 23 and grabbing Johnny Newton there because I thought he would have made a pretty big difference.
I wonder is he doing good?
I'm not. I know I saw he had a big play a couple weeks ago for the Commanders. But either way, I'd have been cool with doing that. But again, I love Dallas Turner. I think he's gonna be just fine. But yeah, we definitely do still need another defensive tackle. And I think I think it's more likely than not we either sign one in free agency, but I think it's most likely we try to get one in the draft. Yeah,
and or we somehow pull off a big trade. Hopefully, right. I mean,
that's why I said I think the offseason stuff is more likely than it is to make a big trade.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like Kwesi is going to be making some phone calls. I think he would pull the trigger if someone's available, but I don't think he does that at cornerback. Our corners isn't like a glaring weak spot. It's the glaring weak spots are defensive interior. We're a defensive interior away from being a super. Like if we get Dexter Lawrence, game over. You already have. You have
you're almost like 4 deep at edge rusher, three and a half.
You're 4 deep at edge rusher. Dallas Turner is stepping up. He had 3. I mean, he was getting to the cornerback every single time at the end of the game. Grenard is second in the league in pressures, I believe. And then Van Ginkel has like 5 sacks. And when Cashman in there, he had a few sacks. Like, we're all good there. But the only reason why we're not getting home is we're just getting no pressure in the middle of that defense. I mean, I've said it 10 times on the show, but it's so significant and it's so obvious when we see over and over again how our offensive line is getting blown up from opposing good defensive interior linemen and how that affects the game. And I think that's like the biggest difference. I think if we had a good defensive line interior, if we had a Dexter Lawrence or anybody like that, I mean, it's easy to say Jeffrey Simmons, anybody that could be remotely good as a pass rusher on that defensive line. I think we beat that Rams game for sure. I think win that Rams game. We probably win that Lions game. The problem is that we just can't get to them. And it's just because they can step up in the pocket and they just get time. And we're not getting, when we run, like that's another problem too, is like we are helpless when we're leaving 3 on the defensive line. Like when we're just sitting 3 or 4, like we're never getting to the quarterback ever. The only way we ever get to the quarterback is if we are actually blitzing. And that's a problem. That's a huge difference. If you can feel confident, you don't have to blitz as much as if you know you have talent on that defensive line that can get to the quarterback without, and again,
like, I love me some Harrison Phillips. Jonathan Bullard, Jerry Tillery have been okay this year, right? Okay to solid, but those guys are not true nose tackles. They're 3-4 defensive ends, right? So I like them a lot. I think they're good role players, but we're missing that dude in the middle that can make a huge difference.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think, and that's the hard part is like, are you going to get a guy? If you get a guy like Dexter Lawrence, you get best of both worlds, right? You get the big guy.
For sure.
Also, that's the thing, which would be best case scenario is to get someone like that. But even if it's more of like an Aaron Donald, obviously Aaron Donald type, but like an Aaron Donald type of player who's like or LDR, who's like a pass rush specialty more than like the big guy in the middle, like even that would just be significant. Like I do think you need a big guy too, but we've been good as far as run stopping goes. But still, we don't have a big guy that can eat up like a couple guys at a time. Like we just don't got those big bodies on the defensive line. That's a problem. We don't got anyone that can get to the quarterback. That's a problem. To me, it feels like the most obvious issue on this team.
I'm looking at PFF right now, and Devondre Sweat, 70.1 overall grade, 54 against the pass rush, 71.9 run defense. Like, I'd have loved me some Devondre Sweat if we could have found a way to get him.
I know. We wanted it. We wanted him. But it didn't matter. We didn't have a second round. He was a second round pick, early second.
Yeah.
We weren't going to make that happen.
Six quarterback pressures, too.
Dude,
he's playing a lot. He's playing pretty well.
He was a stud. I know.
Yeah.
Last year would have been a good year. Hopefully, we haven't dived into the defensive interior. That's going to be a good video. I can't wait for that, diving into defensive interior. Unless we trade for someone. I do think, again, if someone's available, I think Kwesi will pull the trigger, and I wouldn't be surprised if he'd be willing to use a first round
or 2
or maybe 2.
I would give
for Dexter Lawrence
for Dexter Lawrence or Jeffrey Simmons right now. And Quentin Williams. There's 3 guys I would give up first round picks for, and those are the 3 I'd do. I give up 2 first round picks for those guys at this moment right now.
Dexter Lawrence for sure. Jeffrey Simmons, not as dominant. But that's crazy to even talk about giving 2 first round picks up for a defensive like it's just that position has become so important. It's crazy.
76.6 overall grade, 71.7 pass rush, 76.5 run defense. That's Jeffrey Simmons.
That's 3 sacks. Good. What's Dexter Lawrence?
Well, Dexter Lawrence has 8 sacks this year.
Yeah, exactly. That's worth 2 first round picks. 2 first round picks. That's a lot. I don't know if I give 2 first round picks for anybody. You got to be like the
pass, 82 run, 10 sacks.
Because you can't barely get quarterbacks for 2 first round picks.
It's a significant difference, but I would still, for a guy like Jeffrey Simmons, who's young and under contract,
I'd give a first and maybe something else, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. To be honest, I feel like they were going to get somebody that would have done it already. They were saying I mean, at least I don't know.
After
That's what
they want to
people
see how
were.
the Colts game went.
Yeah,
So
a lot
who
of
knows?
people said they were kind of seeing how the Colts game went.
So he could have had a couple messages and some ears out there. So today could have been ironing out the framework of the deal, and tomorrow morning they come up to an agreement, and that's when it gets out there, and that's when we find out about it. So I don't know. I mean, I do think there could be something in the works that we just don't know about yet. And that's another, like, and there are some other names that are kind of starting to come out now as well. Like the Dolphins are now 2-6. So we're talking about Calais Campbell. Yes, he's old, but he could be a nice 1-year rental. Or yeah, exactly. You got Osa Odigizua of the Cowboys. The Cowboys are in disaster mode right now. Right. So they could be willing to part with a guy like that. So there are options out there that are available. It'll just be interesting to see how much Kwesi values his 2025 draft capital, since there's very a limited amount of it. So I don't know.
That's why it kind of feels boomer really bust.
Exactly. Like how he thinks the rest of the season is going to go, we will know tomorrow. Like if he thinks that we are a rental defensive tackle away from having a legitimate shot this year, I think he'll make a semi-aggressive move. Again, I think we're both in the mindset here. I don't want to give up our limited 2025 draft capital for a 1-year rental who's in his late 20s, early 30s, who's a solid player. Like I don't want to be giving up a 2025 fifth-round pick for Calais Campbell, who's almost 40 years old, right? Like
no, you're going for a guy you know for a fact is going to be an impact on this defense right now, and for years in the future. You're not getting some guy that's going to be like rotational, or he's just going to be kind of an upgrade or anything like that. It's just not worth it. Because one thing I would say, if I'm Kwesi, and I don't know, obviously I'm not in the office with them, but to me it seems very obvious that like that us being good started a year early, that the Super Bowl window or us really trying was going to be next year, especially with JJ McCarthy, that whole window there. And I do think that Kwesi is going to be prioritizing that timeline more than trying to do what he can to win this year. Though him trading for Cam Robinson the way he did when Darrisaw went down does show that he's not fucking around this year. And that just was the reason why, like, if he is going to get someone, I do think he would only pick someone that is someone that's going to help this year and then also like years to come too. So I would be really surprised if we see some sort of one rental thing, like maybe a guy who's like, because otherwise you might give a couple, like maybe late round picks for, I don't know, a guy who's like a little bit of upgrade. But I just don't feel like, I don't know who you could possibly go out and get and actually feel like he's going to come here and improve our team, unless it's like you're paying a lot for a guy. So I don't know. We'll see.
But anyway, we'll have all of our answers within the next 12 hours.
What up, Dylan?
12, 14 hours. So I guess, yeah, we're kind of a wait and see mode there, but we don't want to take up too much more of your guys' time. We can, I suppose, get to that. If you'll give away
13 entries again, everybody giving away the Jordan Addison rookie card. Boom. Oh wait, we got that one back there. The Jordan Addison rookie card. Get the hashtag Skulls in the comments, like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. I know we got at least one new subscriber today, and we appreciate it big time. My dude here, let's go. Jeffrey Simmons, the second and the fifth. See, I do that all day. I'll be doing that all day, 100%. I
don't think Tennessee would do that, though.
I know Tennessee is trash. They like, out of any of the teams, Simmons would be the only one that I'm like, I feel like they should be sellers,
because they very well could be in full blow it up mode. Like the Giants, you can tell they have enough pieces outside of Daniel Jones to make that team somewhat competitive. So when they get their quarterback, they're going to want to go for it.
2026. We'll just never have a second round pick ever again. Get those hashtag Skulls in. But no, I do think that would be like the most likely player if out of all those guys we talk about, because now the Jets with their win that they just got, and they went and got Devontae Adams, that feels like the Jets are going to hold on tight to this season no matter what. I don't think they're letting go of anybody. The Giants probably should, but Dexter Lawrence is literally just too insane of a talent to let go. And then Tennessee, I mean, there's just kind of a straight dumpster fire over there for the most part. And I just don't see Jeffrey Simmons he's just in a spot where it's like, at this point, like, you guys need such a restart that I can't even imagine what's the point of even having a player like that just to like waste his career type of situation there. He's the only one that I feel that could be. So hopefully, I don't know. Yeah, the Jets are delusional. They're gonna hold on tight though. They got Aaron. They did their thing. Got Aaron Rodgers. Got Devonta Adams. Like they got no choice. They have
Aaron
to.
Rodgers is
for it,
spiking the front office's drinks with ayahuasca, or however the hell that stuff works. I don't know.
Or maybe he should, because he needs like that whole the upper management. They all need to get spiked with ayahuasca because something needs to change with their mindset or whatever it is that's going on in that franchise for like its entire history. Like something needs to change because everyone goes there and just fails.
Yeah,
constantly.
They need to sell the team, which they were chanting.
Do you think toe-to-toe game? Do you think toe-to-toe game? Which one that's not in our division? Probably Atlanta.
That's going to be fun.
That's going to be fun.
That game feels like a game that'll be flex of Sunday Night Football.
And Kirk Cousins,
it has. I think there's already a good game on Sunday night that week, though. I don't think that they'd make that change, but that's gonna be a really, really fun football game.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Kirk. Like, regardless of how you feel about Kirk Cousins, like I think he is a good quarterback. Do I think he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback? No, but I do think he's going to be on his game. That I would be surprised if we go and just destroy Kirk Cousins. I think that's going to be a game that is going to be a battle. I don't think it's just going to be like Kirk Cousins is going to just suck, because he's been pretty good against his old like Washington and things like that. So, but I do think we get the win. I see Seahawks. That would have been my other choice, but I don't know. I just don't. It's just kind of. I
don't buy it.
I don't buy it. Yeah, they feel fake. They just have more of that fake vibe.
They started off 3-0, right? And now they're like 4-6, 4-5,
or not 6.
I think they're 4-5 because they were 4-4 yesterday and they lost. I think they're 4-5.
Exactly. They're fake, even though we have issues against Seahawks. Anyways, let's get going here. Obviously, anybody that knows, we take 5 names here and you get into the duck race. Let's get it going. Got to be here to make it to the next round. And the first one we've got is, let me get all this stuff going. Boom. Nick Riley. Nick, are you in here still?
No, I haven't seen him drop.
I haven't seen you in a while, Nick. We'll keep on going, Nick. If you're in here, let us know, my guy. Let's keep on going, though. And we've got Sarah. I know Sarah's in here, right? I just saw it, right? Sarah, you're in here? I don't know. Sarah, Jets fans were saying Garrett Wilson's one-handed catch is better than JJ's Buffalo catch. No, that's crazy, especially with everything that's on the line during that.
And he was, covered. I mean, he had someone draped all over him. Like that Garrett Wilson catch was amazing. But it wasn't I'm still not even convinced it was actually a catch. I'm kidding. He got the shin in there, but whatever.
Yeah, that was not the same. Yeah. Sarah's here. I don't see Sarah. I'm going to keep going though. Sarah, just let us know. Nick, let us know. She's in?
Yep.
You bet your ass I'm in here. Let's go. Boom. Russell. It's been a while, Russell. I'm going to keep going. Russell, let us know if you're in here.
So we're waiting for Nick and we're waiting for Russell.
Waiting for Nick and Russell. Let's keep it going. Who we got? Boom, 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 boom. It is Mark. 2 in a row. He's going to get both the cards. All right, so that's 4. So, yeah, we'll keep on going. Russell's in here. Let's go. I don't think Nick's in here. Scolger, you still in here? It's been a minute. Scolger would come back and get in here right away. All right, I'm sorry, Nick, but I do not feel like you're here, so I'll go one more. Scolger, let us know. I know it's been a while since I don't think I've seen him in a minute here. My boy Soup. There he is. Let's go. Oh yeah, Russell. That's what it is. All right, last one. Gotta be here. Y'all know the rules. Let's go. And the final one into the duck race, as long as you're here, is boom. Two Evil. Two Evil, you're in here. I know that for sure. Two Evil, I swear to every time Two Evil's in here, he makes it to this round every time. He's the only one that doesn't like the duck race, and he's in it every time. Which I am gonna this off season, Two Evil, we're gonna get the marble things going. We're gonna get the marble thing. I wish they just had something that'd be really easy to do, but it's a little complicated. But we will get it because I do want to try that. It does look fun. Anyways, we got the 5: Sarah, Mark, Soup, Russell, and Two Evil. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. I do want to do that. I just wish it was easy. Anyways, like I said, Sarah, Mark, Soup, Russell, Two Evil. Scold your Soup. He hasn't been here for this one. I hate the duck race. It's sexist. Why is it sexist? Oh yeah, I forgot. Sarah doesn't like the duck race either because it doesn't it doesn't let the women win. Kinky duck. Let's see. Strawberry duck. I don't know how many times we want to do this. Here, there's kinky duck. I think that is kinky duck, right?
It's something.
I mean, I think there's only one place where you wear a hat like that. Am I right? I got the crown as GG. All right, let's roll with this. We got Sue is a kinky duck, Two Evil the purple duck, Russell is a normal duck, Sarah's a pink duck, and Mark as the green duck. That's bus driver duck.
Maybe. I mean,
that ain't the bus driver I want.
Giving Sarah, the only girl, the pink duck. Maybe it is a little sexist.
That is kind of sexist. I ain't gonna lie. Should I do one more shuffle or should we roll with this one?
I rolled it. Let's roll.
Let's roll with it. All right, here we go. Let's get it. Whoever wins gets it. 3, 2, 1. And we are off. We are off with Soup taking the early lead and Sarah in second place. I think Russell's third, Two Evil in fourth, and Mark chilling in last. Mark, last time, I think you sitting in last the whole time, ended up pulling out the W. You beat me to it, Casey.
Don't Soup. I don't know how to tell you this, but you're probably not winning.
Hey, we've seen it before. We've seen it before. Russell's coming back though. Russell's trying to bounce off that back. We're all there.
I think Mark.
Russell's 8 seconds. Russell. It's Russell. Soup's
Mark,
holding it though. Soup's trying to hold it, but Russell. It's Russell. It's Russell.
Yep.
Russell with the W. That was close. Let's go. You put that bad juju.
It's the way this thing works, man. Being in first place.
That was kind of crazy. Casey called your duck out like immediately. Dude.
Being in first place is a terrible, terrible thing. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say it. I don't know what else to tell you.
I want to test it for performance enhancements. Russell, you take the W, my dude. Russell, I believe I have. Let me hold on a second. I believe I have all your information. Give me a second here.
Normal duck. The normal duck wins it all.
The normal duck. Lame duck. Ain't lame if you get the win. Boom. Oh, yep. I got all your information, Russell's. Unless you moved or something. But I got you. Expect that. Thank you. Let's go. I want to drug test that duck.
Yeah. Anything else from you before we call it an evening?
Hey, Vikings girl, original duck for the win. Congrats. Let's go. Not much, man. Tomorrow's going to be exciting. I don't know how to feel. I feel like I'm going to be okay with either us making a crazy move and really going for it. And then if we don't, I'm not going to be mad if we don't.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just don't want to do something where we give away more picks and we got a guy that we just don't feel like he's going to really be part of this team. But hey, I mean, you never know. Obviously, Quace is a GM. He's good when it comes to free agency and trading and stuff.
So hopefully that's
other than draft trading has been all right, but
yeah, for sure. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us. As we said, another Victory Monday live stream. Vikings do move to 6-2 on the season with a win at home against the Colts. Started 3-game. Honestly, it's a little AFC. What are they? Is that AFC South? Little AFC South run here. Colts, Jaguars, Titans, the next two on the road, and they got the Bears on the road as well. But obviously, it's a really, really good shot.
We got the Bears
to put some more wins together, get to maybe 8-2 on the season. That would be absolutely huge for, a couple tough games at home. We will be on Bleacher Report Wednesday, most likely talking about anything that happened at the trade deadline. And then we'll be back here on Thursday for our pregame streams. So make sure to join us for that. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday evening.
Appreciate you guys.
Right here on the GG Sports Podcast.
Skol Vikes.